That little duck right there, her foot's all swollen again. We don't think she's going to make it much longer. She just kind of just hangs out by herself a lot. And of course these two, they stay close, but still far away. Look at all the algae on top of the water hole here. Hercules is waiting for a handout. He keeps whinnying, which makes Diamond whinny. I actually got everything marked out for where our plans are going to be for our horses and goats and barn and whatnot. I don't know what you guys think you're getting. You got hay right there. Go eat it. You guys aren't starving. It's a little chilly. That wind is what makes it feel even chillier. So, I'm trying to get the caramel off my lips. I was trying to eat a caramel apple, but the apple was soft. I do not like soft apples. But, as you guys can see, there's an orange marking there. That's because this is the end of their pen. And the start of their pen going that way. But what I did was I marked it out where the two, Meg and Captain, and then Jill and Diamond, will have 125-foot wide pasture. Well, hello, Jill. What you doing? Miss Diamond? Miss Jill? What you doing, girly? What you... Oh, you smell that caramel on my hands, don't you? I don't have no apples today. But their corner of their pasture will be roughly right here. At this point right here. And then it will go 125 feet that way. We are going to make the driveway a little wider, so this right here is going to come out. That'll all be, that has to get moved somewhere else because we actually want a drive coming through here too to be able to go back to the hay field because we're going to have a hay barn up here built. But let's get up the driveway here and I'll kind of show you guys what we're doing. So my husband wants 15 or 20 feet is what he was thinking. But I looked at 15 feet and I think that's more than enough for us to be able to get a truck back there. The skid steer or even the side-by-side, which is smaller than the skid steer, but... Well, hello, squirrel. 15-foot area where we can drive around the fence, well, mainly me. So I can drive around the fence to make sure there's nothing down on the fence or anything to that extent. But And as you can see, there's... Okay, so if we go from right here, corner, right here to make our drive, so I could drive on the other side of, on the side of the fence, 15 feet to right here. So that area from here to there is the drive, which is more than enough to get a truck and everything else in there. So from here down to that corner that I told you guys, where the start of Meg's and Captain's pen, the corner of it will be, is 385 feet long. So, with that being said, having 385 feet, that's a pretty decent sized jaunt for a horse pen. And then we're looking at 125 feet wide for just the two horses, which gives them just over an acre. An acre and a quarter is what they get. So then the three horses, see what I mean? Hercules is just very vocal today because he wants grain. So to that orange spot right there, that is 385 feet. So from here, and we're going to walk this way. And obviously we're going to make this as straight and as square as we can make it. Okay, right up here it's coming up. So right here is 125 feet. So then we're going to go back this way straight, 365 feet, and then 125 feet coming this way, and then this is their pasture. So from this corner, now we walk this way. Remember, the second pin will be 385 feet this way, 385 feet going back that way, but then we've got 160 feet coming this way is what they end up getting. So they get an acre point 6, so just over an acre and a half is what they'll end up with, which comes to right up here to this spot right there. And that's the end, which is quite a ways. I mean, this is quite a bit. And then it'll go 385 feet that way, then 160 feet that way, and then that's their big area for the three horses. And then we come from here and we go 125 feet this way, which this will be Jill and Diamond's area. I'm gonna have to get up through this stuff again. Some of this was pretty ouch, like get ya. Can't remember which direction I went. Somewhere in here I've got my my mark somewhere, but I don't know where. It'll be to the 15 feet, wherever I put that. Okay, so it's right there. So this is how far theirs will come to, right here, which I've kind of made it to this tree. And then 15 feet's over there from our property and their property line. which is our neighbor's. But from right there to here, that's 15 feet. This will be our drive that comes through this way. Comes out there. But Diamond and Jill's pen will come to this corner and then run 365 feet that way. And that'll give them just an acre and a quarter, which is great for a donkey and a small type 14-hand horse. And then I'll take you back over here. So we were trying to decide what size of huts we wanted to build. And then my husband goes and tells me, well, all the huts have got to be the same size. I'm like, but we have 3 horses in one and only 2 in the other 2 pens. And he's like, I don't care. They're all going to be the same size. Because we're going to be cutting logs. Trees, I'm saying, for our corner posts, the middle long run posts, for our gates, and for our huts and the potential hay barn. So before I show you the hay barn and everything, for where the goats and everything are going to go, we're going to walk over here, because I kind of figured out what I was wanting to do, and my husband's like, you really need to think about this, so you can let me know, and then we'll go from there. So I've got it all figured out how I want everything. And with that being said, I'll try to give you guys an idea. I marked it out so then my husband could see it too. So you could just see it right over there. There to here, that is 18 feet. Okay, and then from here to here is 20 feet. So our lean-tos are going to be 18 feet long by 20 feet wide. That should be enough to be able to get that hay feeder underneath the lean-to on just the, like in the middle here. But then the horses will be able to get on the sides and then lay down this way and on the sides. Even with the 3 of them, they should be able to lay in here with no problem, but still be out of the weather, and their hay will be out of the weather, because we know we're still going to have to probably feed hay even with these being on the pastures, but we're not going to have to feed as consistently, and that's what we're looking for. So with that being said, now that we're looking at the barn, this side of the barn I want an additional 10 feet lean-to put on, and then that 10 feet that they put on I want enclosed on both sides. So then we just have this 10-foot gap open, which I'll have a gate here, and then that'll be open for the girls to come in, because my plan is to have roughly 15 or so milkers milking, and that would be more than plenty big enough for 15 goats to be in there. Now on this side of the barn, I want a small 12-foot lean-to put on this side, 12 foot wide by 12 foot long, which still is on this side of my door, and that's going to be a baby area. Now what I mean by baby area, I mean for every year that I have babies, the babies will go in this area. So right here is a start to 20 feet right here. Okay, so this is going to be the hay barn area right here. These trees have got to go. My husband's got to bulldoze this down some. I don't know how long he wants this to be. He can make it 40 foot long if he wants it. So I mean, we're looking at 40 feet. We're probably just trying to give you guys an estimate. Probably to this tree right there. That would be the mark of trying to keep all our 5 acres of hay in there, which I'm not sure if it'll fit. But on the back side of however long this barn bees is where my milker fence will start, on the back side of this barn. It'll go up there to wherever 15 feet is, and then it's going to come back go that way. So with that being said, I'm going to show you where I am hoping the barn will go. So like I said, from the corner of this barn, which is our hay barn, then I thought, okay, so I could put the lean-to, or have the lean-to on this side anyways, and then that makes my barn 40 feet wide. And I marked it out where 40 feet was, right here. Okay, so that's quite a distance. And then the girls, their fence is going to come to the corner of the edge of the back side of that barn, which would be somewhere over here. So they'll get all this plus whatever goes back, and then the babies are going to get 12 feet, which is the addition to the barn, which is right to here. And then it will just go long. So they get 12 feet plus whatever length this is for whatever babies I end up keeping, and why they're kids, they'll be in this until they're old enough to get transferred over into the doe pen where they'll be milking. Then from here, or maybe that was my 12 feet there. I don't know. Anyways, but then from here to Odessa's pen, my retirement pen, I'm saying, will come to right here. Okay? And that's my retirement pen from that one, last one here to here, and then it goes up. But inside this pen, I'm going to have 3 to 4 separate pens facing this way inside this pen. But while it's not breeding season, those pens will be open. But those will specifically be for breeding pens. And there's going to be a gap between each one. So if I want to breed certain does to certain bucks, I'll have the availability to do that. And then from here all the way, which is roughly 20 feet, to this corner right here and up is going to be where the rabbits are going to go. So I have more than enough area to be able to keep adding cages, my 6-foot cages and my bucks and everything. But this is going to be the area for the rabbits. Now, there's going to be a gap here. I don't know what that is, but this is 20 feet from my husband's barn if I were to come out here from the garage. But he would like to put a lean-to on to this eventually. So he wants a 20-foot lean-to. So 20 foot would be right to here. Okay, so we know 20 feet coming this way, this cannot be touched, and that he eventually is going to put a barn on. So where do our bucks go, you ask? Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk up here because the bucks are going to get pushed back this way. And the thing about having the bucks back here is that they're far enough away from my does, but they are even closer to our house, so the smell of them is going to be stinking the house. But I'm okay with that. But right there is the start. I figured it would come somewhere right off of wherever my rabbit pen area is going to be, because I want that fence too. So theirs is going to come off right here, and then we're going to run 80 feet. I think's what I figured. It was 80 feet that they would be able to have and roam with. I put it on the ground somewhere here, I thought. Yeah, it's just past here somewhere. If I could find my mark. Or did I not do it? I thought I did. Oh, it's right there. I'm like looking for orange and orange and orange. Right here. So this is where the buck's pen will end. And it will go up, but it kind of is more narrower up here because our property line is pretty much at the top of that hill. So we got to come 15 feet down, obviously, off of the property line. That's the drive. And then that's what they'll get, 80 feet wide, whatever it is, up. And then from here over is going to be a huge chicken area for our laying hens, and inside that laying hen area we're going to have another area for our roosters. They'll be in the same area, and then that gives Max way more room to be able to roam in too, because if we have to, we could take it all the way back, and even if I had to give the goats a little more room coming this way, that's fine, because we've got plenty of space here for the chickens. They can go right up behind this big oak right there. So we got all this, and then goes back up the hill up to our property line, somewhere around in there, because on that side of the oak, and it runs this way and all the way back to the end of our property line, which is another 5 acres back there. That's going to be our hayfield. So we can really try to utilize all of our land as possible as we can. Now my husband wants to build a pretty nice chicken coop that will house all of our chickens. The amount of chickens I have right now is more than we actually need. I never should have went and got as many as we had, but I did. We have them now. And we're probably going to end up having chicks pretty soon, because I have not collected eggs for about 3 or 4 weeks. And I've got broody hens that have been setting on eggs, and we should be having little chicks. So I'm going to actually go check their food, see where we're going, and listen to these animals that think they're starving. You guys see the hay, right? There's hay right there. They got hay. They got hay. They might have only a little bit, because they don't get a round bell yet. And then you got babies like this who thinks that they're starving. I mean, look at that horse. Does that horse look like he's starving at all? I mean, look at him. He's 1,350 pounds and 16'2". He's huge. Quit your crying, you little baby. Yes, quit your crying. You're just a big baby. That's all you are. Go shove your face into the hay and eat some more. Gosh. Anyways, I'm gonna go check out some chickens. Like I said, Herc, you need to go eat the hay. Yeah, I'm intimidating, aren't I? Yeah. He does not care for me because I don't put up with no crap. Unlike my husband, who lets him nip him and everything else. But yeah, check that horse out. Does he look like he's losing any weight? Does he look like he's thin? Nope. He's got a huge butt. Anyways. Roll into it. We're going to come up here and we're going to actually check and see what eggs are where and what's all going on. There's probably 100 or so eggs in the chicken coop, and I've got one broody hen that's on a nest right now with eggs, and then I got another broody hen that just came back on her nest after coming out when I fed them. So then I've got probably 60 eggs or more that are in a nest, but I don't see any more, you know, the hens aren't being so, I can't remember what you even call that, you know, when they're not laying no more, but they're being, because they want to hatch eggs and be a mama. They're being broody, that's what it's called. And, well, with that being said, you know, you can only prepare, you know, for, there's a kitten right there. Hi, little one. What you doing? Can I hold you? Will you let me pick you up? Can I hold you? I hope you guys got the, kind of like how we're going to end up doing all these pins, and these are going to be their permanent pins forever. And that's just the way that we are hoping to be able to give them all the space that we can possibly give them here on the homestead. Because we only have just little over 10 acres, but we're close to being close to 11 acres. I think we're at 10.9, I think is what it was when we first purchased the property, but I can't really remember. But I know it's just over 10 acres, but that gives the horses 3.5 acres up there, which is really nice. And then we'll just make this whole area, that's over here across the house, behind the garage, and down to the barn where it is now, to be able to give to the goats and chickens. And I think it's going to work out perfectly. So thank you guys for being here. Let me know in the comments what you guys think too, and we'll go from there. So see everybody tomorrow, and just please subscribe if you're new. Thank you to all our new subscribers, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Till next time. God bless.